In a gathering of saints, there are 5 types of givers. Number 1, we have what we call a responsive giver. A responsive giver is a giver that gives only when giving has been announced. When a preacher stands up and begins to say, now it is time for giving, that is when now they go into their wallet and they look and they decide what to give. Which means their giving is a response to a voice of a man. So, if we can get into church like this, dance, worship, preach, prophesy, and no one talks about giving, they will live without giving. But the problem with being a responsive giver is because you are dependent on the word of a man. And men are able to fail. Men cannot transcend into certain dimensions. If you give because I have said give, listen, I can package you now and say give. I can say things that can make you give. But if those things don't happen, you take offense and then you leave the church. Number 2, eye service givers. Eye service givers. Those are givers that give because they want to be seen. There are givers that give because they want to be seen. They will never give in private. Eye service givers, they want to be seen. Once you put a platform, they will jump up because they want to be seen. And the mistake with these ones, if pastor does not recognize them, they take offense. There are people in the church today, if you don't acknowledge them, or if they don't see a nice platform, they will not give. Number 3. Number 1, I said it is responsive givers. Number 2, eye service. Number 3, it is what we call controlled givers. Controlled givers, they give because they see others. There are people in church that control other people. Do you know that? Hey, they are commanders of 50 here. When that lady does not stand up, when Pastor Mashabisha will not stand up, others will not stand. But when she now stands, they now follow. When Pastor Jerry stands, they now follow. Which means you are being controlled by somebody. Let me tell you, the problem with that person you are putting in front of you is now a gatekeeper of your finances. Number 4, the number 4 type of giver. It is what we call transactional givers. Transactional givers. These ones, they give because they want something. When something is put to be, they can give. If I can take it now and say, this oil came from my father, I am about to anoint your hands, you will touch money, you will see them running. But if I just stand there and say, I want to pray for you, come and put it, no one will come. But when I pull out where's if I can take a horn and say, I'm pouring this oil in my horn, and then I want to pour it on your hands, my, you will see people running. Why? Because they are transactional givers. It's not out of revelation, it's out of wanting something. They just want something. They want to use God as a pawn. I give, I receive. That's all they think of. And then the last one, number 5, the 5th type of givers is what we call the Shammah givers. Shammah givers. The Shammah givers are givers that give out of revelation. They give out of understanding. My question is, who was the first man to tithe? It was Abraham. Who told him to tithe? Nobody. It was out of revelation. The Bible says an opportunity came about where he went to rescue Lot. When he returned with goods, and then he took out of that and then he gave to Melchizedek a 10th. No one told him. He was not a transactional giver. He was not a responsive giver. He was not a controlled giver. Out of revelation, out of obedience. The word Shammah means obedience.